This match was released first for our members on YouTube and Patreon. Becoming a member is the only way to watch all Purpose Wrestling shows presented in full. Thank you to all these YouTube and Patreon members who help us bring Purpose Wrestling to you. To support Purpose Wrestling, become a member at purposewrestling.com/members. Link in the description. Purpose Wrestling, for the love of wrestling.
It's over! What? Chris Hatch has defeated Michael Oku by countout! Francisco, suicide dive, wipes out Oku. This is a brawl on the outside of the ring in the library, TK.
I got my lunch now. We're not gonna wrestle. We're gonna fight you, son of a bitch.
Every single person that stepped in the ring with you knew what they were getting into, and they wanted to. They said yes. Even Chris Hatch, and I tried to talk him out of it, he wanted to. He knew what he was getting into. He knew what you could do to him, and he still went in there. And I guess it's fair game, I understand that. Sarah, after everything that I've seen her do for you, after everything she's done for us, Sarah, she didn't ask for this, Michael. What the fuck did Sarah do to you? I got my match now. And when I get you in that ring, I'm gonna make you pay. If you know anything about me, it's that I'm petty and I'm patient. I don't know if you're aware you're crossing the line or if you're oblivious to it, but you've crossed the line, Michael. Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes, Michael, and tell me that I'm not serious. These are the eyes of the devil you never knew existed. This has gone too far. I've let this gone too far. I had too much fun with this, and this ends. When I get you in that ring, I end this. When I get you in that ring, I end you.
The most personal issue we've ever had here in Purpose. Michael Oku took things too far. Firstly, when he challenged Chris Hatch to a match. But Chris graciously accepted. And you know what? He won. He won by countout, but he won. Allowing David Francisco to have this match with Michael Oku. But then Oku had to take it one step too far. He super kicked Sarah Hatch, Chris Hatch's wife, and knocked her clean out at the side of the ring, leading to one of the biggest brawls we've seen. Francisco leaping through the rope, taking the fight to Oku. Oku accepting this match, and this has become so personal. We expected it to be so violent that Purpose would not sanction this match. We had both competitors sign a hold harmless agreement against the company and against each other. Whatever happens in this match, no one is liable for this. Michael Oku is a dangerous man. He is a dangerous man and will take things to levels that we've not seen anyone else do here in Purpose. He is sadistic, he is violent, and he is willing to put himself through stuff just to get brutal offense in on his opponent. David Francisco, speaking to him backstage, he's angrier than I've ever seen him. He has more purpose than I've ever seen him. No pun intended. He is pissed off. Wrapping that wrist tape in order to not break his own wrist when he punches Michael Oku square in the face. And you know that's coming. You know the level of violence David Francisco can bring. This is not his first rodeo when it comes to an unsanctioned match. Taping up that left fist David Francisco is left-handed. He is a southpaw. That left fist is his bread and butter. He is a brawler. And he expects to have to avoid breaking his knuckles on Michael Oku's face. That look, that intense stare. David Francisco normally comes out fired up with a smile on his face, taking in the moment from the Purpose fans. Francisco now running in, straight in, both men wailing on each other. This is a fight. This is not a wrestling match. This is unsanctioned. Francisco right to left, getting the better of Oku. Oku avoids a clothesline. David Francisco, press, mounted punches, those left fists. That takes this already coming into play. Francisco now with a boot on the neck of Oku. Leg drop. Oku's neck was at a sick angle. He wasn't flat on the mat. He had his shoulder on the mat. His neck had some way to go. A couple of inches down, jotted out of position. Francisco fired up. Francisco in control. Oku may be regretting accepting this match. Springboard moonsault and Francisco walks out of the way. Pump kick to the face. Francisco ahead of steam. Clothesline over the top. Look at that record drop kick. Francisco feeling it, taking it in from this Purpose audience, keeping his eye on Michael Oku. Oku now leaning against the stage, reeling. Head bouncing off the ring apron. Francisco taking Michael for a walk now. Francisco, spine buster on the apron. Oku screaming in pain. And another punt kick, left punt kick to the jaw. Oku doesn't know what's hit him. Face off, bounce off the apron again. Francisco just deciding what he's going to do with Oku now. Getting a chair from one of the crowd, putting Oku in a sleeper hold. Oku now semi-conscious, that carotid artery being stopped for just a moment. Francisco getting ahead of steam, round the ring, boot to the face, Oku off the chair, turned inside out, wiping out one of our cameras here. Oku looking like he has been hit by a bus. Oku crawling. While Francisco looks over him, grabs him by the hair, dragging him around the edge of the ring. Francisco positioning Oku on the other side of the ring now, straight right to the left of the face, and a second, trying to knock Oku loopy. 3 in a row. Francisco looking to do it again. One more time around the ring, getting ahead of steam. Around that last post, super kick by Oku. Francisco down to the floor, right in the jaw on the point of the foot. Oku finally gets a respite, finally gets in control. Little separation. Oku telling the fans to move. They did not move quick enough, and they got David Francisco in their lap. Oku just taking a second after the abuse he's already suffered at the hands of Francisco. That super kick and then being thrown into the fans seems to have done a number on Francisco. This time the fans listening when Oku says move. Francisco wiped out across all of the chairs. Francisco tied up between those two plastic chairs there. Oku dragging Francisco now, putting him back in the ring. The action finally returning to the ring. Oku looking angry about the interaction the fans are giving him. Francisco trying to keep his fist up, but that right boot by Francisco to the face. By Oki, should I say. Francisco unable to protect himself. Oki with a boot across the throat. Trying to, yeah, he gets the belt off of Francisco. And I think we all know what Oku's got in mind now. Takes that leather belt, doubles it up, slap across the back, the snap of that leather on flesh. Oku straight for the cover. Francisco powers out, but gets another whip for the... And a second cover, powers out again. Every time he gets out, Oku unleashes another whip. 1, 2, 3 more. Oku in firm control now, beating David with that leather belt. The crowd telling Michael Oku exactly what they think of him. Francisco now just swiping at the knees and the legs of Michael Oku. Francisco sent to the outside, dumped to the outside between the bottom and middle rope. Those belt shots just wear you out, wear all of your energy out, take you down, sting like hell. And every time now Francisco lands on his back, he's going to feel those stinging shots from that belt. Oku now dragging Francisco onto the stage, looking for a DDT on that hard stage maybe. Oku with a vicious look on his face, DDT! That is a solid metal framed wooden stage. Francisco holding the back of his head. Oku now exhausted from the beating he's taken himself and dishing it out on Francisco. Oku now heading back to the ringside area, maybe looking for some more plunder. Looks at one of the front row chairs, changes his mind. Francisco is still reeling on the stage from that DDT. Top of his head, his neck must be in agony. What has Oku got here? Finds himself a steel chair. We've seen what Oku can do with a steel chair. He has hit people. He has performed the half crab through the gap in a chair. He is lethal with that weapon, taking his time, eyeballing every member of the Purpose fans. Oku back on the stage, wielding that chair. Oh no! Super kick by Francisco, sending the chair back into Oku's face. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Francisco now grabbing Oku by the hair. Saying everything that Oku can do, Francisco will do 10 times worse. Stamp to the head. Now what's Francisco looking for? For the belt. His own belt that was used to whip him. Now it's Oku's turn to feel it. Francisco back on the stage, and that sound of that leather, and another shot, chest, back, and back on the chest. Francisco just wearing out Oku. Those belt shots will do a number on you. Francisco is fired up. Francisco now unfolding that metal chair, setting up on the middle of the stage. He's looking for a DDT of his own. Through the chair. You saw the way Oku's neck bent on that chair. That chair did not give a single inch. This match has been brutal already, and to me, it feels like there's still a lot left to give.
Everything that happens to you today, you made it to yourself.
If Francisco has his way, he'll beat on Oku until we have to get out of this venue. Francisco retrieving the belt and chair. Francisco folding that chair back up, sending it in the ring, and the belt. He is loaded with the weapons he needs to end Michael Oku. What a a chair shot, the sound echoing out through Merton art space. Oku rolling in pain. That one's for Hatch, and Hatch heard it from backstage. The crowd asking for Francisco to do it one more time.
This one is for Sarah, you son of a bitch!
One for Sarah Hatch. Oku cannot stay on his back. He doesn't know what to do. Double over in pain. His spine must be on fire. The muscles of his back contorted. Francisco saying he's got a plan.
No destruction of the El Jammo.
Francisco promising Oku's destruction, just dropping him onto the top of that chair. His throat against the steel. Francisco now lifted Oku up by the belt. Blue Thunder Bomb, narrowly missed the chair, leg across his back, into the cover. Oku kicks out at 2, but he looked pained to do so. Francisco now heading to the top. This isn't where Francisco usually likes to go, but he's going to do anything he can to hurt Michael Oku. Francisco off the top, double middle fingers, elbow drop off the top. Francisco looking more intense, more fired up than he ever has. He has got a fire in his eye and he wants to hurt Michael Oku. Looking for the ruckus now. Oku grounds himself and flights out with those left elbows. Oku now retreating to the outside, but nowhere is safe when David Francisco is hunting you down. Boot across the neck again, across the back of the head. Francisco following Oku out to the apron. What has Francisco got planned here on the apron? He is going to look for that Gotch pile driver that he has utilised to win so many matches. Oku though, tying his feet in the ropes, not letting Francisco leverage him up into the pile driver position. So Francisco changes tack with a super kick and a second. Francisco has the devil in his eyes. He has a plan. What is he looking for? Getting the purpose fatal to move. Is that a table? David Francisco has found a table under the ring, and I think we all know what he's got planned. Michael Oku is going to get some wood. Francisco setting up the table. Oku still weary from those two super kicks and the barrage of abuse that Francisco has levied on him for the last few minutes. Francisco headed back to the apron now. Francisco looking for that Gotch-style pile driver again, but this time looking for it through the table. Oku powers up though, back body drop on the apron. Francisco reeling in pain. Oku, just a small bit of respite. He looks exhausted. Dragging himself off the apron down to the floor, looking to cause a break, looking to get some distance between himself and Francisco. Francisco already found his wherewithal though. That wasn't enough to keep him down. And a left hand to the jaw. Francisco back in charge again. Francisco asking if Oku wants a refreshment and is taking him straight to the bar. What is Francisco looking for here?
You want a break? I'll give you a break, Michael.
Is that an ice bucket? Can off the head into the water bucket. He's trying to drown Michael Oku. right here, right now. Oku is soaked. Francisco got himself a little refreshment. A little bit of a sugar rush halfway through this match. And Oku with a steel chair. Where had he hidden that? Francisco right to the face. Francisco's been wiped out. That's it. That is what Michael Oku needed. That has found that gap. That has found the turning point. Oku now breathing deeply, trying to get some energy back in his body, trying to fill the lungs with air. Referee checking on Francisco. Oku now celebrating that chair shot, celebrating that he's finally managed to get one up on Francisco. Francisco bleeding. The crown of his head is split open. That chair shot was vicious. David Francisco does not know where he is. He has had his clock cleaned. He is losing blood. He's pouring down his face. The referee might need to think about stopping this. Francisco is glassy-eyed. Oku dragging him around the ring by the head. Now wearing him out with the straight left hands, the knuckles to the face. The blood, the crimson mask pouring down the face of David Francisco. Francisco now crawling, trying to find a weapon, trying to find an advantage. Oku puts a stop to it with a boot. David will not give up. David crawling to his knees, sent straight back to the canvas by a swift right hand from Oku. This is getting serious now. The referee has got to look at that wound on David Francisco's head. That is a lot of blood. Francisco now just reeling as Oku tries to open up that wound. The blood on the knuckles of Michael Oku. This man is heinous. He will not stop at anything. He will not stop till David Francisco is out. Into the cover, that's over. Francisco had enough energy to kick out of that cover. Despite the blood loss, despite the chair shots, despite those vicious punches to the face. Francisco looked for another weapon, goes for that leather belt. Oku again standing on it, kick to the face. Right again on that open wound. Oku gets the chair, wraps it around the back of David Francisco. Francisco wailing in pain. Oku looking for that springboard, top rope moonsault again. This time he hits it. This time David Francisco cannot get out of the way. It ends the match. No, it does not. Francisco with a grim look of determination on his face. The blood still leaking from that wound. Oku looking concerned. Oku looking pissed off. He looked like he didn't know what he was going to do, then he realised, well, I can lay in more punishment. I can cause David Francisco more hurt. David Francisco trying to defend himself, getting those arms up, but it means nothing. One right hand from Oku. And another. Francisco bouncing off that middle rope. Only thing keeping him vertical. There it is. There's the fire. There's that adrenaline that can come when you taste your own blood, when you smell the iron. David David Francisco now feeding off this crowd, feeding off the adrenaline. He needs to get this match over quickly if he's got any chance of winning. If the bloodlock kicks in, this one is over. Shot to the chest, right and left from Oku, but Francisco will not let him out of the corner. Headbutt to the center of the chest, that will wind anyone. One more and then another. Left hand lariat sends Oku reeling off of his neck on the mat. Oku receiving some punishment on a level that he's been dishing out. One more time, 3 lariats, the third one turning Oku inside out, bouncing off the back of his head. David now setting Oku up in the middle of the ring, and a lariat to the back of the head. Michael lands square on top of his head. He is convulsing. David cannot take this time. He needs to finish this match quickly. He needs to not let that blood loss affect him. Look for that Gotch-style power driver. This time he hits it. This is over. Not many people have managed to kick out of that pile driver, but Oku just rolls his shoulder. Not much conviction, but enough to not let that referee hit the ground for a count of 3. The crowd permanently behind David Francisco. David setting that chair up in the middle of the ring. One more idea. What is it this time? The second chair now coming into play. Francisco opens it. Oku trying to blink them headshots off, trying to get his vision back. He must be bleary-eyed now. Off of the chair's face first. Francisco rolling Oku into position onto those chairs. Looking like he's headed up to the top one more time. Calling for the elbow there, showing the fans what he's going to look for. The elbow, Michael Oku through 2 steel chairs. Oku gets up, sends Francisco to the outside, through the table, from the top rope to the floor. A referee checking on David. Oku grabs Francisco, pulls him back up, doesn't give the referee time to check, wants to end this match now. Oku got an idea. Headed out and up to the top rope. Probably going to look for that patented frog splash of his. Oku considering what he's doing, thinking twice, but then up high, frog splash right across the head of Francisco. Francisco has got to be out. The frog splash. Francisco doesn't just kick out, he powers out. That left arm, that right arm, sorry, powers right through. He kicks out with authority. Oku off the rope, 404 knee, brain not found. The head of Francisco rattled one more time with the knee. The chair shots, the frog splash, the 2 knees, 3 404 knees to the brain. Oku, one more time working the brain into the cover. Francisco's unconscious. Just lolls that left shoulder out. That's got to be instinct more than anything. You can't think David Francisco is fully conscious. Oku now looking for the half crab. The master of the half crab sits back on the spine of Francisco, screams out in pain. Francisco reaches for the ropes, but they will not do nothing. This is an unsanctioned match. David Francisco has nowhere to go. Tempted to tap out. Doesn't want to give Michael Oku the separation. The fans begging Francisco not to tap. Francisco now trying to pick the ankle of Oku. Manages to power it over. Oku lets go. Takes a boot to the jaw from Francisco. Oku slaps to the face. Slaps to the back of the neck. Disorientating Francisco. Oku's got that leather belt one more time. Wraps it around the throat of Francisco. He's not going to look for a combo with choke and the half crab. Knee into the back. The leg locks into the half crab. David Francisco's throat being pulled on. Francisco looking like he's passing out. That belt is wrapped around the carotid artery on the side. The blood flow to the brain has got to stop. Slowly leaking out. Middle finger of defiance from David Francisco as he passes out. The ref checks him. David Francisco is out of this, but he did not go down without a fight. Defiant to the end, David Francisco. But this unsanctioned match ends with Michael Oku on top. This fight ends with Michael Oku on top. And this feud ends with the almost unstoppable, the vicious Michael Oku on top. Since that initial loss, the one and only loss in Michael Oku's record to Nino Bryant, he has not lost again. He has found a new groove. He has found a new viciousness. He might be unstoppable. He's on a roll in his career all over the country, and that is no different here in Purpose. He has left one of the toughest men I know lying in a pool of his own blood, choked out, unconscious in the middle of the ring. What a fight. What a match. David Francisco gave his all, but he could not topple Michael Oku. Oku looking back on the chaos these two men have caused. Francisco's still unconscious. We're going to need to get a medic out here.
I am the #1 wrestler in this country. And the reason that that's the case is because I get beaten up time after time after time. And guess what? I get up, I keep fighting, I keep winning. The beatings that I've received in my short career from people twice my size, from people twice as experienced than me, from people twice with the so-called ability as me. Do you know what they don't have double of from me? Endurance. My endurance is unmatched. It is unrivaled. I would say that I am not only the best wrestler in this country, but I am the toughest wrestler in this country, because no matter what happens, no matter how many hospital emergency departments I visit, I keep coming back and I keep winning. Being tough, being the best also means that I am dangerous. And David Francisco, after pushing, after prodding, after begging, got to see that firsthand. And you know what? The danger doesn't end here.
Thank you for watching Purpose Wrestling. Don't miss any of the great pro wrestling action live in Wimbledon. Join us at the Merton Art Space. All details for tickets in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to the Purpose Wrestling YouTube channel for more great matches. Thank you for watching and see you next time.